What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the We Do This Too Outdoors podcast. I'm your host, Courtney Williamson. I got the homeboy Trey back today. We are going to talk about what in the hell is going on with the state of Oregon right now.
Man,
So before we get rocking and rolling, man, Trey, how you been, homie?
bruh, I've been pretty good. Getting back to work. Had the 4 months off with the baby, and shit started up last week. So kind of getting back in the routine of things, and shit, just podcasting, man. Trying to put out some of the best content I can.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I know. I took a little hiatus right after your wedding. When I came home, I had water everywhere in my damn house. My water heater busted, so I took a little hiatus, but getting back to it. About to start putting out some content. I got a bunch of things I got to record this week, so everybody needs to stay tuned for that. So
But yeah, man, it's like it's a never ending cycle, man. Like you put together a video and you're like, okay, cool. You put it out, and it's like as soon as you get that out, you're working on something else. Like it's always something you got to be doing. And it's like I just recorded my first Dreaded Archer News in a long time. Like I ain't did one since I want to say since I've been on leave. I didn't do one.
I ain't done one in a while myself. I was going record one yesterday, man. Just got busy, man, and I got to work summer school starting tomorrow for like a week. It just seemed like it ain't enough time in the day, man, to get everything done.
Bro, it's never enough time in the day. It's like you start working on something and then you look up and it's like, dang, I started at 8 in the morning and shoot, it's already 3 o'clock. Like the day go by like that. Like I've been working on my business plan for the bow shop, and it's like I'll sit down and start working on it and I look up and it's like 5 hours that went by. I'm like,
Mm-hmm. It
holy
don't
smokes, where did the day go?
it don't take long, man, but yeah, man, let's get into it, man. So Oregon Initiative Petition 28. It's called the Peace Act. People for elimination of animal cruelty exemptions. Now, this petition would eliminate the legal exemptions that currently protect hunting, fishing, trapping, and farming from Oregon's animal abuse statutes. Under Oregon current law, these activities are explicitly exempted from criminal animal abuse charges. IP28 would remove those exemptions entirely, making all the following criminal acts under state law: hunting, fishing, trapping, farming, and ranching, specific scientific research, and tribal rights. Approximately 1 million people in Oregon who hunt, fish, trap, or work in agriculture would be at risk of criminal prosecution under IP28.
Bruh, I feel like this is something that we've talked about before in your show where I was like, bro, something is brewing. Like I remember saying, like, dude, these anti-hunting groups, they don't give up. They're relentless. And like they'll do something and it'll get knocked down and then they just go back to the drawing boards. And I think like this is the first time where they're not hiding nothing. Nothing is like what did it say? Nothing is they're not hiding using like, you know, trick words. They told
Hmm.
you straight out what this is.
Straight up.
Straight up. Like, you know what? We want to basically ban hunting. This is an attack on hunting. It will criminalize hunting, fishing, trapping, farming, all that.
Yeah, like I was looking at the farming side of it, like the people who raise animals for food, like
Yeah.
dairy, eggs. That would be considered animal abuse. Like, how did this proposal even make it to the ballot?
See, that's the thing. I'm not in Oregon, so I couldn't tell you like how long it's been going for, but I feel like this is what happens, in the outdoor space. We're not like we can't be everywhere all the time. So like the people in the state got to be the ones, you know what I'm saying, beating the drum. And I feel like and no offense to anybody in Oregon, but like the drum should have been beaten when this bill first got proposed. Not, oh shit, it's got enough signatures. Now it could potentially make the ballot, or it's gonna make the ballot. So it's just one of those things where we waited too long to try to address it. Now we addressing it when it's gonna be on the ballot in November. But I don't know how this gets by, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I was talking to AD the other day, man, and he said like down in Mississippi where he's at, there's been a bunch of things like this, like, try to get on the ballot in Mississippi and it never makes it. But it seems like the more I read on this about, IP28 out of the order, like this is gaining a whole lot of traction. Like this could pass in November.
if it passes in November, if it passes in Oregon, you can best believe they're gonna try to blanket the country with this. Every anti-hunting group in each state is gonna look at what Oregon did, look at what that group did, and say, "Okay, we need to put this in our state." And we have to figure out how to defend it. Like, I'm sure, like, states like Texas, I don't see anybody, going for it. But you're gonna see it in your more liberal states. So, Oregon is a very liberal state. You might see it in, like, Illinois, you might see it in, Michigan.
Yeah, I don't see it's flying in the South at all.
No, no, not at all. I don't see it flying in the South. But, like, in the industry that I work in, dude, the anti-hunt groups, like I said, they are relentless. They don't take no seasons off. So they'll figure out a way. Like, I think they study us more than we study them.
Hmm. Yeah. So let me ask you this, man, because I was asking my homeboy this yesterday. We was talking about it. Like, is this really about like animal welfare, or is this like trying to attack hunting and fishing, trapping, all that? Like, are they just trying to come after us?
No, it's they're picking they're picking what you call it, a subject that's very, touchy to people. So like animal abuse. So if the average person reads this, they're gonna say, "Oh well, I don't want animals to get abused," and they, what I'm saying, they sign that petition because I'm sure this is how it plays out right here because I've seen these cats. They pull up on me all the time. With my job, I'm always in and out of gas stations. They hang out in front of gas stations. You get out your car, and they say, "Hey, sir, would you want to sign the petition?" And you say, "What's the petition?" "Oh, we're trying to get a bill that's going to stop animal cruelty," and they'll stop right there. And you say, "Well, damn, hell yeah, I'll sign it. I don't want animals getting abused. Sign." And they have all the shit you can read right on them, but you're not gonna sit there and read that whole bill, not at all. So they get the signatures. So now they've proposed it. Now people know what it's really about, but it's like it's already picking up steam at this point.
Hmm. And I feel like when it does get on the bill, it's going to be worded in such a way that's going to be so confusing to most people that they're going to be like, "Oh, okay, this sounds good. I don't want animals, like you said, I don't want animals to get abused. Let me vote for this."
Yeah, because like, have you really read through it?
I read some of it yesterday. I didn't get to read like the whole thing, but
Like, did you see the sexual assault provision they put in there?
no, I didn't see that part.
Yeah, so they're saying like, they redefine sexual assault of an animal in a way that opponents could argue could affect routine livestock breeding practices. So it's saying like these animals aren't asked to get bred. You guys are artificially inseminating them, all this shit. Like they're basically throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. But like that's one of the things that's really not being talked about on it, how they kind of wording that. And these groups are smart, man. They got billions and billions of dollars, just like the other side do. And but in my opinion, they're putting it to use. Like, there's like, how can we word this shit where the average person can read it and we can win them over to our side. Like it's really bad. This is a bad, bad, bad thing if it passes because is going to be the catalyst for a whole lot of fights that I don't think us as hunters are ready to fight.
What do you mean by that? Elaborate
Like,
on that a little bit.
all right, so like I don't think that we are like this is gonna sound so bad, but this is how I was gotta tell you how it is. I don't think that we are prepared to fight this fight. Like we're not no one's gonna put the bread up to fight this. Like, you know, like this is going to if this becomes like a countrywide thing, this is gonna take a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money. So like for example, in my field of work, whenever there's like a anti-menthol bill going out, these groups are spending millions and millions and millions of dollars on their campaign. In return, we have to spend millions and millions and millions of dollars as the anti-campaign. Like, hey, this is what they not telling you. I don't think we have the manpower or the resources to fight that kind of fight.
I don't know. I feel like if it does go, if it comes anywhere near the South or somewhere like it, I feel like a Willie Robertson or Cam Haynes, some people like that would jump on board and people would rally behind them because I feel like there's some hunters out there that we probably don't even know their names. They got more money than all these guys, and that's all they do on these these big Texas ranches they got. They hunt, they fish, or whatever. So I feel like if their livelihood starts starts getting messed with, we're gonna see some money being dropped on trying to hire lawyers or whatever to fight this. But manpower wise, like I said, like you said, I don't know if we've got enough that actually want to jump in and help out with this. I don't know, man. It just depends on how close it gets to home, I guess.
Yeah, see, I think in the South, I don't if it has to go to a petition, I don't think there's enough people like that's against it that would sign a petition. I think you're gonna see it in like the liberal states. Like you want to get your easy wins first. Like if I got the bread, okay, I know we got it in Oregon. Let's just hypothetically say this shit passes in Oregon. All right, we won Oregon. So what's the next state that's similar to Oregon that we can put funds behind, get this and get it on the ballot there, and then they go there. The reason I say that we're not prepared to fight it is because we don't preemptively do stuff. We wait and react. So by the time that we react to it, they're already 5, 10 steps ahead of us, and now we're playing catch up. So now going back to the hypothetical, let's say Oregon, it passes in Oregon. Us as hunters have to be looking and say, okay, they want Oregon. What state are they going to hit next? And we have to preemptively attack, or just say, screw it. Let's just go ahead and start a whole campaign now and get this shit over with.
Yeah,
Like
instead of
this is
waiting.
what this is why this bill is bad for the country.
Yeah. It says that in order to qualify for the November ballot, uh, IP28 must collect 117,173 valid signatures by July 2nd, 2026, because some signatures will be invalidated during verification. Proponents typically need to collect 140,000 total. So I guess some of them, probably some dead people they're gonna have on there and ain't even valid. So they got to verify them signatures or whatever. But here's what I think's crazy. So I'm sitting here looking at the website. So in 2020, IP13 was filed. This
Okay.
was the first version of this. And then 2022, it doesn't qualify for the ballot. So in 24, they changed some of the core language and a new petition was cycled. And then in 24 July, they didn't get enough signatures, so they refile as IP28. So February 2026, 100,000 signatures were submitted, so they didn't get enough. May 2026, which is this month, 120,000 signatures submitted, so it exceeded the 117,000. So the signature deadline is July 2nd. So it'll qualify or it'll fail if it gets, if it falls, if it gets through or whatever. And then general election is November 3rd. And that's when Oregon voters decide if it qualifies or not.
Yeah, see,
So it started in 2020.
and this is the first time that us as a group is hearing about it. Like, I get it. If you're in Oregon, you probably heard about it. But this is where it's gotta be spread. Like, this shit gotta spread. And that's why, I really, really need to talk to somebody from Oregon and say, okay, like, walk me through how did we get here? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, even when the stuff was going on in Colorado about the mountain line bill they was trying to pass, like, whenever you talk to somebody from Colorado, they could tell you, like, "Hey, man, look, this is what happened. This is how we got here." Like, they put NDAs in place where people couldn't talk about it and da da da. They really only focused on 2 counties. I think it was, like, Colorado Springs and Denver, like your 2 most populated areas. They really didn't focus too on, like, the rural area. So they focused on they focused on a population of people that aren't really familiar with the outdoors. Like, they don't hunt in those areas. And you go outside those areas, those are huge hunting communities. But
Right.
those 2 particular spots, which are your highly populated spots, you got, more of a liberal feel there. They don't hunt. So you say, "Oh, they're trying to, we're trying to end trophy hunting of mountain lions." It's like, that's really not what they doing. But if you don't know any different, then you just kind of go along with it. Yeah. So, like, I want to know how, like, it came up in 2020 and it didn't get enough signatures. Okay, the fight don't stop there, and that's my problem with the hunting community. It stopped. Okay, boom, it didn't get enough signatures. Okay, we good, y'all. Let's go back to doing what we do.
Yeah, we didn't take the next step to make
No,
sure it
now
didn't happen again.
okay, yeah, they failed. Now we gotta put our foot on their neck. Now we have to actively go out and talk against it. That way, when they try to come back again and somebody says, "Hey, we got this petition going," like, "Oh no, man, I don't want to sign that. I don't agree with that."
Yeah.
Like
Top
that, like,
top
I
of
know
that.
I talked about it before on your show. It's this hunter apathy, man, that we always think that, "Oh, somebody else is gonna fight this fight. Somebody else got it. Somebody else is gonna donate. Somebody else is gonna write their senator. Somebody else is gonna call their senator. Somebody." We all gotta be, you know what I'm saying, fighting this. This is not isolated to Oregon. I promise you now, every anti-hunting group is watching this shit under a microscope. Now, if it succeeds, you'll have similar initiatives coming out, introduce it somewhere else. If it fails, they'll learn from it and come back with a different version. And obviously, that's what they did in Oregon. Okay, it came out in 2013 as IP13, or it was, yeah, in 2020 as IP13. Okay, cool. We didn't get enough signatures. All right, let's go back to the drawing board. All right, let's go back out. Oh, we didn't get enough signatures. Okay, now we got to change some core wording. All right, let's bring it back. We can't keep letting them come back to the well.
And we let them keep, like you said, we put it off on the next person till it gets close to home. It's like, oh, what do we do now?
It's what you call it. Like when if you play sports, and what does your coach say when if you play on a team that y'all should beat? What do they say? Y'all better not let them do what?
He better not let y'all. Well, my coach, if you play in a team we supposed to beat, you better not let them beat you, or this and this and this is gonna happen, or don't. My coach always said, don't play down to your competition.
Yeah. Well, see, what my coach says is, don't let them hang around. You let a team hang around long enough, they'll find a way to beat you.
For sure, yeah,
And that's what we're doing. We're letting these anti-hunting groups hang around. We let them hang around. Oh, that, when you read that, no one's gonna go for that shit. No one's gonna go for it. We ain't gotta worry about it. Oh, they got enough signatures? Yeah. Shit. Now we're starting to mobilize, but shit, they already got a full head of steam.
yep. And I'm sitting here looking at like the news coverage of this, like basically all the news coverages about this is in Oregon. Like it hasn't reached anywhere outside of, I mean, probably like Washington, maybe California, but most of these are like local Oregon news channels.
You said it was on Oregon news channels?
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything outside of Oregon news channels like in the past until like maybe like a week ago. I think it got to like California is what I'm looking at. But all the rest of them's like WKOB 15, like Oregon, KDRRV, which is an Oregon station. And then this another Oregon station, it's like a NBC 5. They were talking about it, but it's like all these Oregon, it's all Oregon stuff. Like you don't see anything outside of there. So, like you said, the people in Oregon, yeah, we need anybody from Oregon, man, out there, like hit us up because we need some more information.
Yeah.
We
Like, we
just we
definitely
just
need.
hitting we just hitting the tip of the iceberg right now because
Yeah.
we need to know some more information about what's going on.
And yeah, and like I'm getting on TikTok and I'm seeing more people, talk about it, but it's like I'm not seeing enough. Like I'm not seeing enough, and I think we're back at this thing where it's like, oh, like it'll take care of itself. And I'm not saying that the people in Oregon aren't fighting, but like I don't think enough people are worried about it. They're like, you know, yeah, if it makes the ballot, because I did hear somebody say this, yeah, if it makes the ballot, no one's gonna actually vote for this.
Mhm.
But it's like,
You don't know though.
you don't know. Are you really willing to leave your voting or your hunting rights in the hands of voters?
Yeah, that's the thing, man. And I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine the other day, man. Like we were talking about, I want to see your opinion on this. Like, do you think hunting is becoming political when it shouldn't be?
Yeah. Like so here's the thing. Like when you say political, you mean like the community as a whole picks a side?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's been going that way for probably the past couple of years now, and you can really see it now. I feel like.
We're like in all reality, like I get it. We as hunters, we're a mixed bag of people. Like, you got Republican hunters, you got, independent hunters, you got Democratic hunters. You just do. But I feel like lead that shit out of hunting. Because what happens is if you were to go ask someone who's in these anti-hunting groups, describe a hunter. They're probably gonna say, "Oh, it's a red-blooded American trumper, da da da," da," and that's not every hunter is not a trumper, but they have that perception of it. That's who they are.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said I feel like it's becoming more political now. Because like especially when you talk to non-hunters, you start talking to some of them like, oh, all Trump, all the Trumpers, they're all hunters and this and that. I'm like, no, that's not the case. That's like, you got a a fair share. I said, but you got independent hunters, you got democratic hunters, you got, I mean, there's all kinds out there, man. Like people that, you know, don't even identify as male or female. You got them out there that are
Yeah.
freaking hunting now. So it's just, I don't know. Like, I'm with you, man. You gotta leave politics out of it, man. But I feel like we were talking about this the other day. Me and my buddies, man, we talk about all this shit all the time. But like in 20 years, what do you think hunting in America is gonna be like?
If it ain't completely banned,
Yeah.
it's gonna be privatized, man. I honestly believe that because one of all of the money in it. And like I get it. People say, well, this particular law is set in place to protect that. That can be removed. That can be removed. And I'm like over on me and my brother's podcast, I've said this plenty of times. People get upset when I say it, but like we aren't built like the guys in 1776. We're not built like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's a group of hunters that's willing to put their life on the line for their hunting rights.
No,
So
absolutely
so
not.
I think if that shit passed in Oregon, the only thing you're gonna do is, which I don't even know if you live in Oregon, can you go out of state and hunt?
Mm, I'm
Because
guessing.
now that's the thing. Can you go out of state? Because now if you bring that animal back and get pulled over, is that is does that go against the law there? I mean, you slaughtered an animal.
Yeah, I feel like if you I don't know, man, like you bring that whole animal back, like before you cut it up and put it in a cooler. But if you come back across state lines and just in a cooler, like how they going is that gonna be considered animal cruelty too?
Because think about this, which I said, I haven't really like I don't know the ins and outs of the law like that, or the proposal, but like Colorado, you can literally walk into a dispensary and buy marijuana. Your ass cannot leave that state with that marijuana.
Right. Yeah.
So if you go into, say you're from Oregon and you go to Colorado and you shoot an elk and you come back home, are you breaking the law there?
Yeah, it's a fine line right there. That would be crazy.
Yeah. But then my question is, who's going to enforce it?
That's the thing. And my other thing is like, if you ban all this, you ban all hunting, you ban fishing, there's gonna be some people out there just like now. I feel like it's gonna be a whole lot of poaching going on. And a whole lot of people going in these backwoods honey holes that nobody knows about, catching all the fish in the world, bringing it back to their house. Like there's no way to enforce it because because at this point, like the game wardens are going to be gone. There's nobody to enforce it.
Yeah.
Like your fish and wildlife is going to take a huge hit. So there's not going to be anybody out there to tell you, hey, you don't need to be out here hunting. It's illegal. You don't need to be out here fishing. It's illegal. Who's going to stop them?
Yeah, I didn't think about that. So that would get rid of the game warden jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked it up. It says, yes, even if IP28 passed and effectively made hunting illegal in Oregon, an Oregon resident could still potentially hunt in other states as long as that state allows non-resident hunters and the hunter is legally eligible to buy a license there. Hunting licenses are generally issued by individual states, not by federal government. I knew that. However, it is an important wrinkle. If Oregon were to revoke or suspend someone's hunting privileges because they violated Oregon hunting laws after IP28 passes, the suspension could potentially affect them nationwide through the Interstate Wildlife Violation Compact, which all 50 states participate in.
And why do we have laws? Why are laws in place?
Somebody broke them.
because somebody broke them.
Or somebody was doing it, and they say, "Well, we have to put this in place."
So basically, if nobody's out there to enforce this law, like the game wardens and people like that, who's to say that who's to say they're gonna stop hunting? Who's to say they're gonna stop fishing? Who says they're gonna stop farming? There's nobody out there to enforce it.
Well, no, I mean, if you got somebody in Oregon right now that's poaching and then they ban it, well, hell, the law didn't make a difference to them. They was gonna do what they wanna do anyway.
I'm talking about like the guys like us who, buy a license every year, try to live, try to, hunt the right way. If they take that away, I feel like a bunch of guys like us are gonna turn.
Outlaw?
Yeah, they're gonna
I
turn
don't think so.
outlaw. They're
I
gonna
don't think
turn
so.
rogue. You don't think so?
No, because of what I just read to you. So let's say you live in Oregon and boom, this passes. You say, "Well, screw that. I'm gonna go hunt anyway," and you go hunt and you get caught. Well, now you just violated a law in Oregon, which now will stop you from going anywhere else to hunt. So I don't think someone that's already a law abiding citizen and then the law changes, I don't think they're gonna go rogue because they don't want to affect going out of state.
Going out of
Now
state.
now if
Yeah.
you a cat that you don't go out of state and you want your deer meat, sh-
Yeah, it might be that old man like I met down here at the gas station last year. Only time he gets out and hunts is during gun season because his wife passed, and that's when he gets out and kills 3 or 4 does to last him a while because he's got to fend for himself now. Like you take that type of guy and you take away his hunting and fishing rights, I feel like he's still gonna be okay. He gonna turn Amish. Amish ain't. I mean, can't Amish can hunt pretty much 24/7, 365 without a license, and you can't say nothing to them.
yeah, but they're not in a state that says you can't harm animals.
That's true. So I don't know, man. It's a bunch of what ifs and a bunch of I don't know, man.
No, it's definitely scary. You know what I'm saying? It's because it can, like I said before, it can affect everybody. Because let's just again, let's say it passes. Okay, now you're gonna have a bunch of cats from Oregon going out of state to hunt, which now that's gonna put more out of state pressure on the states around them. And then if I'm like just from a business standpoint, let's say I'm in Idaho and Oregon passes this law. What's the first thing I'm about to do?
Well, there's a lot of things that you could do, but
Well, I can tell you now, I'm raising out of state
they gonna
license.
raise the prices. Yeah,
You
that's
goddamn
exactly what's
right.
gonna happen.
I'm raising out of state pricing because now you got to come here. And if I get on board with all the states around Oregon and say, hey, we're gonna have an influx of hunters, you'll see every state raise their prices around Oregon because we don't want them coming over here.
Or they could do like I don't know if you've ever ordered ammo online, but like you get online, like they've got certain states that they won't ship
If
to.
to, ooh, I
So
ain't think about that.
you go to
You can't
Idaho.
apply here from Oregon.
Yeah, you go to Idaho. Like if you're from Oregon, you can't apply to hunt here, or it's gonna be triple the price. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that.
Ooh, I ain't thinking about that. I ain't thinking about that.
Yeah.
Ooh, this like I know I'm beating a dead horse, but this is all goes back to we are so reactive and not proactive, man. This is something that we could have nipped in the bud a long time ago. And I feel like hell, I feel like since we linked up, I feel like every year has been something. It's something.
Something.
Whether it's a nationwide thing like we had with the sale of federal land, that shit got shot down, and then it seemed like every state has some kind of extreme. And we'll just keep fighting it the same way we've been fighting it. I don't think it's enough now, because they've shown time and time and time again, we're gonna keep coming back. I mean, you got organizations like PETA, um, the Direct Action Everywhere, the DXE, In Defense of Animals, I think it's called the Corona Foundation.
There's a lot of military, man. There's a lot of
It's a lot of groups, but these are the top 4 groups that are funding this IP28.
yeah,
They got bread.
they got bread. Especially PETA.
Yeah, they got bread.
Man, I remember in college, man, when Cameron came out with that pink meat he had on,
Yeah.
that PETA was coming after him for wearing that. You know, just a rapper from Harlem, man. I was like, man, if they can come after him, man, they can come after anybody.
Yep.
I don't know. So, what if you had one thing to say to the voters in Oregon right now? Like, what would it be before November?
If I had to say something to the Oregon voters, do your research. Find out what you're voting for. Because your vote, if you're for this, your vote is going to change. It's going to change the tradition of hunting in Oregon. I mean, it's going to end it. You're going to end a long running tradition of hunting in Oregon. Will be done for. Now I don't know what it would all take to overturn it. But I'm sure that's gonna take the same thing where you have to get a whole bunch of signatures and
Yeah, that's where it starts because you got
yeah.
to get so many signatures and they got to validate the signatures and then it goes before a panel of such and such and then it's a big long process. But
But you know something that's crazy though that I've been seeing in comment sections? In my comment section about my video. Oh, so now we're all hunters now. Gun guys coming in saying, "Oh, so now we're all hunters. Now we all need to band together." So, you archers, y'all been creating divide within the hunting space because gun hunters aren't real hunters. Then you got the crossbow guys coming out saying, "Yeah, so now we all hunters now." So now, and this all goes back to what I was saying before. Hey, we've created so many divides within our own community that now when something is going to affect the entire community, whether you're a crossbow guy, rifle guy, traditional archery, compound archery, you're a fisherman, any of that shit,
you ain't gonna band together.
now we've created such a division and animosity toward each other that it's hard for us to come together. Now that was only a handful of guys in the comment section so that's a small, you know what I'm saying, a small sample, which probably don't mean shit. But I do believe that if those guys feel that way, there's got to be more that feel that way.
But there's a lot
And
more out there that didn't see your video.
yeah, and I promise you, there are a lot of people out there that will cut their nose off to spite their face. I hope it passed. I don't live in Oregon. I don't care.
Exactly. That's the thing. I
And
don't live in
that's the
Oregon.
mentality.
It ain't gonna, like you said, it's not gonna affect them till it hits close to home.
Yep.
Somewhere, Texas, Oklahoma, somewhere. Like, oh no, they ain't. Don't tread on me.
This is what I've always said, man. The hunter apathy is real. We continue to let this shit build up. We're too worried about, you know, who's shooting what and what brand is better than the other brand and all this. And yeah, that shit is cool to talk about. But when it comes to like, the real work, a lot of folks don't want to put that shit in. It's taboo to talk about until we're in the position where we're in now. And I keep saying I don't live in Oregon. I don't. But I'm saying we because I identify with hunters in Oregon. I got homies that live in Oregon. I would hate for them to lose a right to be able to hunt. And not even just hunters, farmers, bro. I'm sure there are long generational family farms up there the satellite families made their living over the last 100 years. That
Mm-hmm.
shit is gone.
Yep. Crazy, man.
Like,
Yeah.
this is a direct attack.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, and it's not isolated to Oregon. If this shit passed in Oregon, hell, if it pass or it don't pass, be ready for them to be coming back. They gonna spin the block again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it took them 6 years to do it, but hey, they did it.
And we here.
And we here.
So like, we got to band together. We really got to start keeping conservation on the forefront. Not just fighting for, oh, we need to get more access. That's big too. But shit, access don't mean shit if you can't hunt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't imagine life, man. You couldn't hunt, man.
Can't hunt, can't fish.
Can't fish, can't farm, can't do nothing, man. And I'm not the type dude, I don't go out of state much to hunt anyway. We're going to Stuttgart in January to hunt, but this has been we planned that last year, so we had pretty much a whole year
to get ready for it.
get ready for it. But I don't really go out like that. So it's like Kentucky do something like that, hey, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah. And this gonna sound crazy, bro. But you can cut this shit out. Right here. The biggest threat to hunting isn't IP28. It's the millions of hunters who assume somebody else is going to handle it. So someone else is watching legislation. Someone else is donating. Someone else is attending commission meetings. Someone else is fighting ballot initiatives. That's the biggest threat to hunting. Hunter apathy is the biggest threat to hunting. Because we already know the anti-groups are going to do what they going to do.
Right.
But us as hunters, if we don't step up and do our part, we ain't got to worry about who got the new Matthews and shit. We ain't gonna be shooting none of that shit.
Right.
I know me, man. If I lose this hunting shit, bro, I'm gonna become a gambler, bro. I'm gonna be gambling. Prize picks, fan duels.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd do. I ain't too good at gambling, so I don't know what I'd be doing.
I'm not either. That's the problem. I don't know. Like it's crazy, man. That we have even gotten here. It's just I say I can't believe it, but I do believe it. I believe it.
Well, I feel like if this does happen, man, I feel like the tax and 3Ds and all the 3D shoots, and if they're in Oregon, they'll have a big turnout.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be packed out because you can't do shit else but shoot foam.
Yeah, they shoot foam. I mean, they'll be sold out. It's like, man, I ain't shot this bow in 2 years. Let me get this bow out and go to this tack.
Man, conservation is not a spectator sport. It's not. We all if we all love this shit like we say we do, we got to do our part, and that's more than just buying your tag every year. Get with an organization in your area. If there ain't one, start one. I'm sure there's some like-minded people around you that is willing to meet up and do shit together. Like, what they say, a lot of times you don't know what you miss until it's gone.
You don't know what you got till it's gone.
That's gonna be the shit right here, man. That's gonna be the shit right here. Because I'm sure there was meetings where this shit came up at. I bet there wasn't nobody in there.
Nah, at all. There wasn't nobody in there.
So like we can't be if we aren't gonna do our part and stay ahead of this shit, we can't be shocked when this shit make the ballot. We can't. And I know people gonna listen to this and be like, "Oh man, you talking down on hunters. You talking bad." Look, man, I'm on y'all team.
Right, I'm one of y'all.
I'm like at this point, I'm like a coach. A coach don't come in when your ass kicked and, "Hey, man, it's gonna be all right." No, man, I gotta put my foot in your ass. I gotta wake your ass up. When it comes to conservation and actually getting shit done, when it comes to watching these bills before they get steam, we as hunters do a bad job of staying on top of that shit. Yes, we come in clutch like LeBron in the fourth, and we knock that shit down. But man, all it takes is one time. But then we've had some losses. We've missed them buzzer beaters. We missed the shit with the Wolves in Colorado. We missed that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we been swept a few times.
Yeah. So we can't be walking around too with our chest out all the time saying like, "Hey man, we did our thing." Nah, man, we get our ass kicked more than we don't. We got to do better, man. Like I get it, doing gear dumps is dope. Doing gear reviews, dope. Hell, even with like with us, the bow draft, that shit is dope. Sitting and talking that shit. But I promise you, when it comes to this conservation shit, I do my part. The cats around me do their part. We part of organizations. We going out. We picking up trash on public land. We taking down woven wire fencing and shit. When I was in South Dakota, that's what we was doing. I'm trying to get some shit kicking around here. Because if I'm gonna take from the land, I gotta give back to it. If I'm going to ensure that this tradition is going to be here for my daughter to go hunt, for my daughter to take her kids hunting, for me to be able to take my grandkids hunting one day, I gotta do my part now. I can't rely on somebody else is gonna do it. Because if I do that and then shit fall through, I'm gonna be mad at myself, man. I should have done something. But if I do my part and shit still fall through, I can say, well, shit, I did my part.
Right. Yeah. You right, man. But yeah, if somebody's from Oregon's out there, man, I'm gonna be posting these clips on Instagram, so tagging Trey. So somebody from Oregon, tap in, and we gonna get you on the show. Yeah, we need some we need to know what's going on out there, man.
I'm telling you, man. Because if the only time we organize, if the only time we organize is when we're under attack, shit, we already lost. And that's I learned that shit when I was at the academy. Hey, you got to be on your P's and Q's 24/7. I don't I'll never understand it, man. I hate this shit. I hate that we have to constantly, what I'm saying, keep trying to wake hunters up. That this shit ain't guaranteed, man. This shit ain't guaranteed. Like I said, I know there's different laws in place. There's bills passed and acts and all this shit. Man, all that shit was made by man. It can be taken down by man. And again, what you willing to do to keep it?
Well, so far, all the opposition is coming from Oregon Farm Bureau, Oregon Cattlemen's Association, Oregon's Dairy Farmers Association, Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, the Oregon chapter, Ducks Unlimited Oregon, Safari Club International, Coastal Conservation Association, and National Wild Turkey Federation. So
So
they
they they
getting,
they, they got the big dogs on it.
yeah, they got the big dogs on them. So yeah,
Just I would love to know like how long they've been on it.
yeah, that's the thing. 'Cause so the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife estimates that hunting and fishing generates over $1.9 billion annually.
Damn.
330 plus thousand licensed hunters, 500 plus thousand licensed anglers, 37,000 farms and ranches employing over 80,000 workers, wildlife biologists, trappers, pest control operators, Oregon's non-federal recognized tribes with treaty hunting and fishing rights. we didn't. Yeah, we didn't get into that. The tribes that are out there,
Mm.
but and veterinarians and animal research institutions. Man, yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, somebody from Oregon tap in with us, man.
Yeah, definitely. And my last thing here is, IP28 isn't the beginning of the fight. It's just the latest chapter that we got to fight. So once we like, hopefully after, because I do believe we'll come through clutch again because we always do. Once we beat this shit, now we gotta get on the front and start getting ahead of it. Because like I said before, other groups are watching this shit. Other states are watching it, and they're saying, "Okay, let's see what Oregon gonna do." Okay, they got no, it didn't pass. Why didn't it pass? And they can go through and they'll call them. And what y'all do wrong? Man, we did this wrong. This. But we gonna circle back next year. All right, cool. Well, we gonna start it, get it rolling over in our state, and we gonna fix what y'all fix what y'all need to fix. We gonna put it in our shit. We just lucky that we is one state at a time. Had it been like if I saw the article and it was like Oregon, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, Michigan, Ohio. I mean, if it was like 10 states going at one time, ooh shit. It man.
Yeah, that'd be bad, real bad. Pretty much that whole West Coast.
Yeah. It man, we be we be in a world of hurt, man. Cause when you get a whole bunch of states going in at one time, one gonna slide through. One gonna slide through. And when that one slide through, shit,
Floodgates.
man, what? Man, I got my foot in the door. Now the whole crew coming through. That's how it gonna be. So we gotta nip this shit in the bud, like my boy Fred Sanford said. We gotta get that bud nipper. Nip it in the bud.
Yeah. Well, there's some food for thought for y'all out there, man. So man, y'all keep track on this IP28, and we'll definitely keep track on it for y'all. Keep posting about it or whatever. But we're definitely gonna find somebody from Colorado or Oregon out there to tap in with us and see what's up. But you can get on OregonHunters.org, and it's got everything about Oregon IP28 on here. You can donate. You can see all the people who's opposing it, to see exactly and to see what exactly is on the ballot and everything, and so y'all check it out, man. But there's nothing else, man. Big game, small game, all game. We do this too.